Episode 69.
You fucking made it, dude.
Is
Seems
going
kind of
down.
quiet on these.
Oh, is going. Yeah, it is a little quiet. Inspector, welcome to the party, buddy.
Woo.
Glad you made it. Good to have you here.
Big sheesh.
Whoop, whoop.
There you go. That's better.
Stan's trying to take my shirt off, dude. It wants to see what Vic wants to see.
I mean, chat's been asking for it forever, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, Inspector Beck, welcome to the Producer Lounge. This is our show.
Specific person.
Oh, I mean, he's sitting here. He's sitting here and he's fucking with the vibes.
Fucking with the vibes, man.
What's up?
This is a producer show podcast thing where we're just going to sit here and chat about producery things.
Yep.
Whether that's us going into the DAW to talk about something, or we're going to talk about philosophical things for an hour. You know, it just kind of goes wherever.
Hopefully, people have questions for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can answer them
That
in the
is helpful.
producing music realm.
Mm-hmm. Or even releasing tracks, like anything that has to do with like a producer's brain nowadays,
Yep.
like a bedroom producer.
We make electronic music.
Yeah, that's true. We do.
Does anybody ever come in asking for life advice from you guys?
No, but I'd love it.
I know, that'd be great.
There's been
Jet-
a few
Jet
that have
Borderline
secretly. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, he was like, how do I get big on TikTok? How do
Yeah.
I do
I was
that?
here
Like-
that episode.
Yeah. Were you really?
I
Yeah.
was here that episode. Yeah.
That's basically life advice. Like,
Yeah,
you're looking at the wrong thing.
right.
Well,
Don't worry about TikTok.
You're asking the
Um,
wrong people.
you're
Yeah.
asking the wrong question. That's what
We're
you're asking.
we're of
There's a couple
course
layers.
brought to you by Always 400.
That's right.
They provide all the funding. They're kind of our multimedia parent company, you could say.
It's $1 billion company. They hook us up.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. They lie under the covers a lot, though. You're not going to find a lot.
That's why you got a professional show here. You know?
It's so professional.
Great stuff. They released my first EP. I fuck with them.
Fucking right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can go to always400.com for all those kind of things, and that has links to the Discord. You can also hit !Discord in the chat. And today is episode 69. It's a big day.
Good Lord.
And for a big day, we need a big dick.
It's a massive rock hard day.
Crazy.
So we brought in Northeast Heights.
That's right. You know, we couldn't do it any other way.
Yeah, biggest
You
dick
know?
in the bass game. Come on. Had
That's
to
right.
represent.
Right.
Small to
This
medium
guy,
large.
this guy can suck
Whoa.
and get sucked.
Whoa, yeah, 100%.
You know,
He can suck himself. It's,
400%.
Yeah,
Yes, we do all our own graphic design, Inspector.
we do.
That's how always
That's
400
right.
money.
That's right. The pandemic was good for Always 400.
that's right. We do all of the graphics, guys. That's right.
Because we're sauce.
Not me.
No, but we do. What's up, guys? How's everybody's week?
Oh, saw, dude.
Saw, dude.
Saw.
Sorry, dude.
Throwback. Any interesting things happened today in the DA or this week in the DA for the boys?
In the da.
I've been making a bunch of future bass.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's been so much fun.
Oh,
I
yeah,
fucking love making that shit
You
so
showed me
much.
that new one that's like got future bass vibes on the chords, and then your bass line is your Cohen sound bass,
Yeah.
but it's kind of under the covers enough, which is good because it lets the top end breathe.
Mhm,
I was almost thinking when I was listening to it, you could even maybe take out more mids from the chords
Oh, really?
and
let the bass
let
breathe
the
more?
bass breathe a little
Low
bit more.
mids.
Yeah, like cut them, like make sure there's not a lot happening underneath.
Yeah.
Like 800
Shelf.
I could see that. I
Shelf,
could see that.
baby.
Yeah.
Shelf.
Shelves help for sure.
Shelf it.
Instead of
Shelf life.
trying to do a roll off, because
Yeah.
if you do it too tight, you're getting phase, and then it's doing the opposite of what you want it to do. You're getting a weird peak there.
Mm-hmm.
So doing a little shelf at like a 24 dB is.
Is future
sauce.
bass at
Good
a
call.
tempo, or is it just the style of music at any tempo?
It ranges, but it's usually like 150, 140, like
It's
similar
trap.
to dubstep.
Yeah, it's usually trap
Trappy.
tempo.
With
Yeah.
chord.
Big chord stacks. Yeah.
Chom.
Yeah.
Chord wubs.
Chom, chom,
Volume
chom, chom.
automation.
Yeah.
Right. Volume automation.
But yeah, and then you add
Exactly.
the fucking Cohen sound, like neuro bass under
Right.
it, and it
Cool.
just fucking
It's
makes
cool.
it super saucy.
Yeah.
I do kind of agree that it could get busy. Like you're dealing with that because the Cohen sound, that kind of neuro bass is already pretty busy. But
So much.
you could say the
movement.
same
I mean,
thing.
if you're Cohen sound, it's very busy.
Yeah.
Jesus
you can go,
Christ.
You can go way more tame than that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a similar vibe to a Reese bass in drum and bass. Like it can take over a lot, so that's why there's a bunch of different Reeses. You know, you have like your really intense noisy, crazy ones, and then you have
That one's so sick.
your more under the covers, just just basically being a sub, but
Right.
it's modulating itself through phase, which is so sick. But you could just keep it under the covers enough, and then keep the melody of the chords like simple enough where the bass gets to kind of peek through every once in a while for something like maybe a fill or something. I don't know
All right.
what it would be.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And the chords breathe just that little bit. Fucking
Do you think
slide it in, get a little drum fill or something.
Do you think the Cohen sound guy is 69?
100%.
Oh, without a doubt. Come on.
They're doing some weird shit.
Yeah, they're sucking each other's
Before
dicks.
every show, I'm sure
Yeah.
they're just backstage
Yeah.
like, this is our
Yeah.
ritual.
Real men.
Could you imagine 69 before every show?
If I was in a crew,
I can't imagine. And
if I was in a duo with like my wife, like
That's what I'm talking
100% I
about.
would
That's
be
what I'm
like, let's
talking
go
about.
find the bathroom, or at least fuck. At least like find the backstage
Let's go
bathroom
get,
at every venue, like the cringy one that.
Can we
all
pull
the-
off fucking mid-set?
Right,
depends on if it was a DJ set or a live set.
that's true.
I remember that one time remember the open mic nights that we used to do. I remember one time that like I did my thing and like dude, the last thing I wanted to do was talk to anybody. Like there was kind of a lot of like guitar playing and cues that needed to be done, and
Right.
no 69 and could have been done before that.
Also, what a horrible image having the dude at the top of the 69.
You can do
That's
both ways.
horrible. Oh,
No,
Person
you
on the
grab
bottom,
her.
it's brutal.
You grab her or him or they.
Yeah, but that's,
You flip them over. And you just stand there.
oh, the vertical?
Yeah, the vertical 69.
right. Hopefully she's small and light, or
Yeah.
you are, and she's an Amazonian.
Yeah.
I'd be
Ooh.
okay with that too.
Ooh.
Grab my ankles, baby. Let's go. Going in, bro.
She's
Yeah, and you're like, yes. She's like, come here. I will hold you up, yes. Now lick the clit, yes. You know? She's like big and Russian.
We should
Honestly,
do,
it's the dream. If
should
I'm
do a
being honest.
group track called Amazonian or something like that, inspired by this episode.
Amazonian 69.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like a good track if you ask me.
Hey, chat, keep your eyes open
it's a
for any
zinger.
Amazonians.
Zinger. And, if you are listening to this and you hear that name and it strikes you like it strikes us, you can make your own. It's not ours.
Play along.
It's just an idea.
It's
Yeah.
a
Have
community.
at it.
Nope, it's
Make
mine.
it.
Yeah.
No, it's a community thing.
No, we came up with it all together. So
I had no part in coming up with that.
It's a community thing. Okay?
You're like, I don't want my name attached to that by any means.
Your energy being here brought it on, okay?
Whether you like it,
You're here for a reason.
You're right.
Episode 69.
Episode 69.
Yeah.
Where is it? I'd like to talk a little bit more
no.
about EQ things. So I've never
Okay.
heard the song you were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, obviously. But one of the things that I thought that was interesting is I've been using shelves like, if I don't have to use a high pass or a low pass, I'm trying to do it with the shelf these days. I've noticed that's like kind of helped like,
Or a
quite
bell.
bit. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
I'm a big fan of shelves.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Especially
never
low
touch 'em.
mids. Low mids, huge for a shelf. Huge for a shelf.
Huge.
You chop off with your high pass as far as you need to. Not too far. Don't go too far.
No.
Get rid of the
Sometimes I
sub.
won't
But
even use
then-
a high pass. Like, I'll just shelve it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably built that sound without a bunch of 20 hertz in it.
Yeah. Right.
Or found a sound that doesn't have a bunch of 20 hertz in it.
Right. Right.
You're leaving a bunch of 20 hertz in random sounds.
No.
No, I didn't think so.
Right. Exactly.
I've noticed a lot of times, for me personally, I noticed a lot of times like I'd be cutting shit that like wasn't even there though. You
Sure.
know, where it's just like I'd be
Sure.
high passing
Right.
where it's just
But
like
if
you just
you're-
think you like need to. And
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
you
where
can-
I'm at.
Sometimes you don't know.
It doesn't matter if it's the only thing that's going to happen, and this is if you're using like a 12 to 18. If you go like 24 could still kind of like not phase that much. But if you're doing like a 36 dB
Yeah.
high pass on a bunch of shit, that's unnecessary. Yeah, like
Bad.
I'll
You're creating ringing in your song.
yeah. Anytime I do any kind of high pass, just to cut the lows, it's usually a 12, and it's just real gradual. It's just there to like make sure there's no 20 hertz happening. But I'm a big fan of those.
Dude, I don't
I'll
even
put those on a lot of
Or
shit.
a 6.
I've realized I'm not a
Six
big
on the
EQer,
high end
dude.
for me is
I EQ less than most people. Like even talking about your things, like dude, I use EQ8 for everything. I don't even really use Pro Q3 like that much, or like any type of thing that lets me adjust. Like, I don't EQ a whole lot. Like
yeah.
I use the
I do.
Bitwig EQ all the time.
Does that
I don't
allow
necessarily
you to go?
I use it for general things.
I pull out Pro Q if I want to be really, really anal retentive.
Right.
That's when I'm pulling out
Right.
Pro Q3.
When I need something I need it very
I know that I'm
delicately
doing a
handled.
specific thing, and it's so much easier in Pro Q3 to do that than using EQ8 or whatever the fuck the Bitwig version of that is, because it has like these features where you can like literally hover over the frequencies that are coming in, and it'll show you where a peak is, and you can just drag it down, or you can.
Right.
It has dynamic EQing too,
I
which
do
is
that a
like
lot.
that's one reason why I will definitely pull out Pro Q3. Or if I'm doing something EQ wise on like a big group of things, I like, especially like something like simple like a low pass or a high pass. I will pull it out so that I can choose linear and not worry about it fucking with the phase of things.
So I know the settings you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about in terms of what is it? It's phase mod, linear, those settings in Pro Q3. What do they mean? I don't
Linear
really.
or no latency.
No latency. There's another one.
Yeah, I think they're natural.
It's zero latency. It's
Zero
linear,
latent,
and
natural,
then
and linear.
another one.
Anytime you're doing like a hard cut, or even just like cutting intentionally, I don't really use it like a shelf, a cut, a shelf, cut. What was the other one?
There's
I
shelf.
thought there was a third
There's
one.
Bell?
notch. Are we talking about like the filter
No.
types in an EQ? Or are we
I'm talking about big moves.
Oh,
Big moves on a big group of things. Like that's the time when I'm going to
yeah,
use
like a bell,
linear. Like yeah, sure. If it's a bell, if
Yeah,
it's a wide bell,
Yeah, if you're boosting high mids,
and I'm
big
doing
bell.
because you're only getting like serious phase issues when you're doing, especially stuff to the low end heavily, and on like either low end or massive amounts of things together.
Right.
You're gonna have an issue there.
And really transient heavy things. Like if you tried doing like a brick wall cut on a kick at 90 hertz, like go linear. But then
Right. It
because-
removes that little
right,
ringage.
but because of that, there's going to be latency. So
Right.
if you do something in linear like that on a very transient heavy sound, flatten it back down to audio, so that EQ is now burnt in and you can move it back because it's going to be late now because of that. That's why you have the no
I never really
latency
thought about
mode.
that.
Yeah, the
Okay.
no latency mode is so you can do stuff on transient stuff without it causing latency, but it's less accurate or whatever.
Gotcha.
So you do the linear phase if you really want to dial in a transient sound, but you got to flatten it because you're going to get latency like a cunt. There's more things that go into it. That's just like one little caveat
Yeah.
about it.
And the reason why that matters is it's a small amount of latency that you get, but depending on what you're doing, obviously.
Right.
But it will affect. Fuck. I'm high. I'm faded.
You stoned folks.
I'm faded.
I'm faded.
Also,
What
what's
up,
up,
Full
Full
Metal?
Metal?
Oh, Metal in the
jeez.
chat.
Oh my God, we just did it.
Pro
We did the thing.
Pro Q EQ sidechain linear phase prevents phasing from happening from your EQ cuts.
Dude,
I
phasing
gotta
is
figure
sick,
again,
though.
dude. I think I
Gun show.
EQ not a lot. So like Pro Q3, if anything, like I'll use that as like in the sound design thing, but it's usually like stupid notches, you know, to like bring out like fundamentals or something.
Right. Sorry, we're not laughing at you. I'm laughing at you.
I'm not worried about it.
It's fine. We don't work out. Don't worry about it.
He's not worried about it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you were doing, there's definitely a way you can go without EQing a lot. Like if you're just picking the sounds that work well and you just disregard the rest. Because I do have a level where if one of my EQs is like crazy, it's like just pick a fucking new sound. Like it's obviously not working. But then there's times where I'm sound designing, and I'm specifically sound designing in a song where something's got 30 EQs running between distortion units and other stuff. And it's going to get flattened at some point.
Yeah.
But it's just there for like the sound design part of it, and then I flatten it down and we're good. But I will EQ a lot depending on what I'm doing. When it comes down to like the normal ending mode, the only EQ moves are like big wide bells for certain things. Like, oh, this just needs more mids.
I'm weird. I need my EQ curves to like look pretty. I need them to like look good and have like a nice.
I don't give a fuck.
I need them not during the sound design phase. You're right.
Right.
Like, that's probably when I bring out Progi 3. But dude,
Again.
most of the time when I need a dynamic EQ, I'm using EQ8 and I'm using like an envelope follower and just assigning that to one of the filter points. I'm like making one, you know, like
Man.
What?
Yeah.
If you delved
Interesting.
into Bitwig, you would be in heaven.
Yeah, you would be in heaven.
Like with that mindset, Bitwig does it so much better. The way you're talking about that, I bring in an envelope follower. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you could bring in
There's like
30.
5 different versions of that in
Yeah,
Bitwig
yeah.
that you would be able to choose from.
Yeah, you could have it triggered by the rest of your audio too.
Yeah.
You could do like
fuck Ableton,
anything.
basically.
One
Hashtag fuck
day, Vic.
Ableton.
One day we gotta
You said it,
transfer
bitch.
over. At least try it, experiment, see what it's like.
I mean, you can download it for free and fuck
Dude,
with
not
it.
not opposed. Like,
Oh yeah, right. I'm so curious. But I
Look,
also just
look,
love Ableton so
of
much.
all the
and I'm
people we
comfortable.
know, Caleb and I are the only ones who have actually made the commitment to
Yeah.
switch over.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking pussies out there. That's what I'm saying. You know? You know what you could do with the pussy, though? You could 69 that shit.
Hey. Folks, that brings us to our first commercial break. We'll be right back.
you just show the intro video again.
No, it's not the intro.
You just
Welcome
show
back.
the intro video again. It's not
Yeah, we're
even a
back.
commercial.
No, there's no commercials. It's just more bumpers.
Hey, they paid for that shit, dude.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Always 400.
They
puts
are
the dough
sponsored. Yeah.
down.
When did that start? Episode 67. I was here like 2 months ago.
It started right now. It started literally right now. We like to have fun here, folks. Thanks for tuning in for episode 69 featuring Northeast Heights, folks.
Let's go.
That's right.
Don't forget.
Please ask us. I'm not faded. It's fine. Please ask us
smoke weed.
actual questions about music production so we can answer them.
Yeah.
But we do have a topic that we can go over.
Sure do.
I don't know if we have a tip of the week. We haven't got there yet, I guess. Topic, though.
Go on.
Collaborations.
Oh yes, yes, the infamous collab.
Yes, we've already talked about Morph EQ.
We did talk about
It looks
that.
cool. I haven't
It's
used
sick.
it.
I've used it
Couple
a couple
casts
times.
ago.
I got to figure out how to use it. It's not part of my normal workflow.
It seems like
It's
it'd
a
be fun
weird
as like
one.
the generative thing. It doesn't seem like
Right,
a workflow
right.
thing to me.
No, it's a generative
Yeah.
thing. But I have a very specific generative workflow also.
Me as well, dude.
so I
honestly.
got to figure out how to like squeeze it in
That's
there
why
to make new
switching to
sounds.
Bitwig is a nightmare.
Right,
It's fair.
Right.
It looks cool as fuck though. That
It looks
Morphe
so
EQ
It's
look-
sick.
It looks like a
Right?
good
Fun.
time,
And
Dude, I love VSTs these days, dude. Some of these experimental ones are just getting like so neat in terms of the applicability of them, where it's just like I see that can be useful, but it's just like it almost seems like more useful if you're not solidified in like your ways a little bit, you know, where it's just like, ooh, I wish I would have had that 10 years ago, and then it's like that's how I would have done all my mud pies.
Right,
Right.
right.
That's a
But
good
you
point.
just can't be an old dog in the game. You got to learn the new tricks.
Yeah,
man.
it's true.
That-
It's true.
That is
100%.
true.
Oh, you see,
gotta
no,
keep
I
learning.
disagree.
Yeah.
You're
You gotta keep learning.
No, I don't think any of our viewpoints are that you like don't keep learning. I think it's just like sometimes like you find your sound or like you find your techniques,
getting
and I feel
heated
like
here,
refining
folks.
on those is like more important than learning like the new VST.
It's funny.
Oh, for
beer.
sure.
It can go both ways. It can go both ways. Like
It's a
no,
weird-
If you are like just relying on the next new VST to like be the thing that like
magical.
improves your sound, yeah, that's not a good move. Because like in
Yeah.
theory, you could do all of the Morph EQ stuff in Ableton or Bitwig, you know, but it just gives you a nice little package or something.
exactly. That's it looks super neat, and I see the applicability of it. But
Hey, never heard it said better, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It does give you a nice little package.
Jesus Christ.
Check out my nice little package.
69. Let's
Episode
go.
69. How many
Also,
of you?
for you guys in chat right now, what do we have? Like 2,000, 2K?
Yeah, there's like 2,300.
Yeah, 2,300. That's pretty good. Go check out
That's
our
fine.
TikTok. We're trying to get some
Yeah,
eyes
go-
on that. We make fun
Oh,
little
that's what I should do. I
TikToks.
should make a command to take people to our TikTok.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Also, I need to add a link to the website. Or have them add a link to the website, I guess.
Victor is Mac. The rest of us are PC.
Are you
Obviously.
A Mac, it's bullshit. I'm about to buy a new one,
Jeez.
dude. It's gonna cost like $3,500.
Dude,
Or
get a
you,
tower.
or you could spend half.
Get a
and
PC
get a
tower, my
PC.
man. It's so
I'll help
good.
you build it, dude.
Yeah, Caleb built mine.
And then you just replace parts instead of buying a brand new computer.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly,
And it's a monster.
It's a fucking monster. And it changes colors if you want.
You could save money.
some
No,
rainbows
dude, no,
on
hey,
it.
I am a firm believer that it's just like, dude, I can work if I go to somebody's house and they have a PC, like I can switch between like the command quick keys and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What I really want the new Mac is I like those new studios. I'm kind of looking for desk real
The
estate at the moment.
little square things.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
those
like
are
a
kinda
little
nice.
box. It is a beast of a machine, and that's kind of really like my biggest thing right now is I'm familiar with the operating system, which I know I could transfer over, but
Sure.
I really like the desk real estate
Right,
that it
yeah.
takes up.
That's fair.
I mean, mine
Yeah.
doesn't take up any desk real estate.
Well,
It sits underneath.
room real estate.
On the ground.
It's just in between the
It's
legs.
hiding.
Nothing else goes there.
I'm not saying one is better or not. It's just
Did
dude, the
you
one
say
I'm
your
about
PC?
Right.
the one I'm
fair.
about to get is 10 times smaller than what you got sitting on the ground.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But
Look.
it could be 10 times louder. Who knows?
Look,
you won't
Full
know until you
Metal.
get it.
Just like you are very locked into your Mac OS, we maybe were locked into Ableton at one point.
true.
And
Jeez.
we switched over to Bitwig, and it's been miraculous ever since.
Every episode, dude.
Listen,
But also, I did that with fucking Mac to PC at one point
you
as
did.
well.
You did.
I think it's important to be able to work
Not
on
that big a deal.
any computer you're on, dude. Like
Disagree.
I am not stunted. If I go over to somebody's house and they have a PC, we're using control.
It's not
the
hard
rest
to
of the
switch
day.
over to
Like,
Mac when need be.
Dude, there was a fucked up part. I hate working on Aaron's computer because his scroll wheel on his mouse is inverted. So scrolling down goes up
Oh,
and
yeah,
up goes
yeah,
down.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so fucked.
Isn't that on all Macs? Isn't that how it is?
I don't know. Maybe if it is,
I
that's
think that is.
horrible. You're not flying a plane. You're on a fucking computer. What are you doing, Mac?
You're making heaters though,
Listen,
bruh. Fine. It's fine.
Listen, someday the Church of Bitwig will reach you, and the good news will be blessed upon you, and you will convert.
And they will have
Hallelujah.
already made a bunch of new updates that make it easier for you. Because
true,
they
too.
update all the
They
time.
do update like twice a month.
All the time.
Really?
Bitwig
Unlike
updates
Ableton.
all the time. Yeah,
Holy
it's
shit.
crazy.
dude,
We just-
Ableton's dope.
We just got.
I know. I love Ableton.
Like, Ableton's
I love it.
dope.
It is until you see Bitwig.
Yeah.
Unless you're John. You can do it.
You boys are living on Mars.
Right,
with
which
your
is a
Bitwig.
weird.
He is the wizard, and he just couldn't,
Yeah, he just couldn't
handle
handle
it.
it. Yeah, I don't know.
He couldn't handle it. It's the same reasons, too, as Full Metal over here. He can't handle the differences.
Damn.
Like,
You gonna take that Full Metal?
No, it's just
John's fucking brilliant. What are you
Yeah,
even talking
and
about?
Full Metal is too. It's not a knock. It's just
I know.
the
Choice.
yeah, and like the power that you wish to commit to it in the moment. Like
Yeah, it's a time commitment.
yeah,
It's about
Yeah.
6 months. I would say it's about 6 months.
it takes about a month until you're kind of have your feet a little bit.
Oh, you're
but-
good on
but-
6 months.
But then
or
once
I mean
six-
a month.
Yeah, but then once 6 months comes around, then you're like, why was I in Ableton?
Right, right.
Like you don't.
The
Then you
month, the first month is gnarly for sure.
It's pretty
I would say
gnarly.
the first 2 weeks.
But it's
especially.
also exciting because
Yeah.
it's new
Yeah.
and weird.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're doing weird things.
You're going to do stuff you never did before, which is also one of the benefits of it.
Yeah.
Everybody uses Ableton, and we're just going deep on
Yeah.
Ableton versus Bitwig.
We're evangelizing, dude. Listen,
You're just going to make different noises.
Yeah.
Because you
Good.
can't make the same noises
No.
that you can make in Bitwig that you can make in Ableton. It's different. It's
And
just different.
to me, it has like a flavor of when you first started making me music, where it's like you don't really know what things
Ooh,
do.
yeah.
So you're kind of just like, let's try this
Oh, you're
weird
more
thing.
playful and
Yeah, you're just kind of
experimentative.
like being like, oh, I can put a million LFOs on this plugin and this plugin and this plugin and this plugin and this plugin, like all in the line. They all have different LFOs and like 50 of them. You're like, what? Let's just see how weird this can get. And you just end up in weird spots. And a normal thing you would do in Ableton, like, oh, I'm going to flatten this down and then put it in Complex Pro and then fuck with the formant, which you can't automate, but in Bitwig you can. Huge plus. Like doing something like that in Bitwig, you're just going to automatically have different results.
Yeah.
Not just because it's tonally different, but you're going to have a different way of getting there. Just because of the way the program
It works different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just you're just gonna get there in a weird
Yeah.
way, and you're gonna make some weird, interesting new things.
Full Metal, you'll have an easy time just jumping in and making beats.
It's
You-
free.
You'll be fine.
It's free, folks.
Whether you're switching to PC,
To
whether
download.
you're switching to Bitwig, or whether you're switching to Faceplant, because Serum is bullshit.
give me
How about that?
Give me an air horn.
Next tangent.
Got some producer bros over here.
Yeah, there's a reason we
Producer
started a
bros.
podcast.
Hey, it's
No,
episode
right?
69. You laid on thick.
Yep.
Yeah, I
strong.
know. Jesus.
So
Just like, yeah, my VSTs open up and oversampling. It's like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
if anyone just heard that joke
That
out
is
of
such a fucking good joke.
it's so niche. It is so niche. It's hilarious, but any person they'd be like, "Oh, what? What does that
And then
even
every
mean?"
producer is literally on the
Dying.
ground.
Yeah.
You know? You give it to one of those like black beat maker guys, and
Right.
they're literally like running across the room, like,
Yeah.
"Whoa! No, the fucking not! He did not do that!" It's my black voice.
Joke of
I
the
hope you
year.
guys like it.
Congrats.
I like it.
It sounds just like an American white guy.
Hey, we like soft synths too.
Just like, I
Don't
make
worry.
mud pies in 96K.
Okay. Fucking nerd. No, you don't.
Dude, no, I would never.
I export everything.
Not over here
in
talking
FLAC.
shit about
Look.
everybody's operating system.
Look, Full Metal, you're behind on soft simps.
Soft Sims, dude.
You're behind on soft synths, and I am behind on sound design. So,
No, you're not.
I mean, this guy makes some fucking sick ass sound design.
That's
You
for
do
sure.
too, but you're just left field with
I am
me.
kinda
We're
weird,
like,
yeah.
we're over in a fucking weird universe. I try and like grab as much as I can from mainstream and try and pull, but the shit I like is weird.
Right.
You know?
It's a blessing and a curse
Yeah, like the
because you're
one.
exploring new territory, but then also it's like hard to hit it into the main line.
It's just like if you make a
Everyone's like,
sound
"What?"
that sounds like somebody else's sound, then it's like,
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
it's not as fun
It's not.
as if it sounds a little different than their sound.
Right. What's the next evolution?
Yeah, they already did that thing, and they did it really well. Try and find this, because dude, there's got to be so many fucking unexplored sounds and genres that are possible in music.
Oh,
That just because like the fucking mainstream eyes is just like you can only make trap and pop and that's it. No one's exploring because everyone
Right,
wants to be trap
true.
or pop guy, or I guess dubstep guy.
or whatever. Yeah, like everybody's just. I mean, it's fair. They wouldn't
Yeah.
get paid.
Yeah, makes
I
sense.
I get it.
You want to be
But
popular.
Also, like, push the envelope.
Yeah. Also,
You can make.
I would
both.
say Full Metal is also doing some weird sounds.
Oh yeah.
It's true. And
He's
yeah,
doing very weird sounds.
Shout out Full Metal.
It's great.
you can't be 100% original, and you don't want to be 100% original because no one will listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have like a little bit of your left foot in the past and your right foot in the future,
Mm.
because people have to be able to like understand what's happening to be like, oh no, this is a cool take on this thing. Like you can't just be like, I invented a new genre and these are all new sounds in 432 hertz.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
What?
That's
Like, you're gonna
actually-
have 5 people there.
Dude, that's an interesting point. Like, I hate when you ask somebody what kind of music they make, and they're just like, "Ooh, it's like if Borgor had a baby with Aphex Twin,
Yeah.
or something." Like, I need it to be a bit more. I need you. I need
be
it
honest?
to be not
To be honest.
That might not
Sorry.
I think it needs to be like in a lane. It's just like, dude, it needs to not
yeah.
be like a conglomeration of other things, but it needs to be like easily like packageable. It's just like, dude, I make bass music for fucking Burning Man, motherfucker.
Perfect.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it needs to
Great
be a
move.
bit more like digestible.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Right,
need
100%.
It's like Taboo. He makes fucking bass music for rednecks.
Yep.
Fucking Taboo is the shit. I love that guy
And
so much.
just being able to say you make bass music. Like there's plenty of people I've
Bass
met
music,
where they're just
whatever.
like, well, it's like an offshoot of
Yeah.
rhythm tech.
Yeah, don't be
With-
making
it's
up
like-
your own name for your own genre.
Dude, you
bitch.
gotta own it. And I think a lot of that is actually coming from a place, I know at least for me personally, where it's like when I started, where it's just it's just like kind of at a certain point you gotta like believe in yourself and your product, and like it does have to have a vision where it's just like
Yeah.
it needs to be the first thing where it's just like, dude, I make music, motherfucker. Like,
Yep.
you know, like this is what I do. I make music, motherfucker, and I make bass music for this particular vibe and like energy or like whatever you're trying to like accomplish. But it's just like
Yeah.
these like pigeonholings and plays between genres. I feel like sometimes it's lost. And
You're-
it's fun
yeah.
to explore all that.
It
Like,
is.
do it. But I don't like.
But you got to
when-
bring it back to the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
it's
there's a
for-
difference between just making weird shit for yourself and working at King Supers. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But like, I want to make weird shit that I can then take to a bunch of people and be like, "Is this not weird and cool?"
It's funny because
Like-
King Supers as a reference is so local.
It is local.
If
Your
you're
local
not,
grocery store.
imagine
Yeah.
like
Well,
somebody from another place. You're
Yeah.
like, or you're working at King Supers, and they're like,
Dang, he's
that
the
kind
king.
of sounds sick as fuck to work at King Supers. Like, what the fuck?
It is.
It's like a fucking. It's like the coolest name of a grocery store you
It is
ever
pretty
heard.
dope.
Yeah.
The king.
Yeah.
That was actually good advice I got from like Ill Gates though, where it's just like, dude, you gotta have you gotta fucking mean it, and it has to be
Right.
it can't be
Yeah.
abstract. It
Can't
has
be
to be it has to
arbitrary.
be more real to you, which is the most important thing. Like it has to be so real to you that you can fucking taste it and see it and then sell people on it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's like
indeed.
very valuable that like I see a lot of people first of all not really kind of like owning up to what they make. You know, they're just like, ooh, I like dubstep, but it's like it's a bit more involved than that. You know, when I was in 9th grade, I liked garage music quite a bit. So like it has some it's like nobody
Right.
really gives a fuck. Like nobody really gives a fuck.
Right. I
Yeah.
think it's layers and levels as you grow. So it's like you first start and you're like, I want to make whatever the fucking thing that I want to make is. And you don't have an identity at that point, right? And then you start to get an identity of a thing that you like to make and you're trying to figure out how to do it. And then maybe you have 3 of those, you know? You have like
Right.
a few different like genres or types of music that you want to make. And
That's
and you grow and you grow and you grow. And when you get to more mastery levels, you start realizing like, oh, now I just have the tools to make the things that I want to make. So a project per se has a lane, but you don't have a lane.
Exactly.
You do whatever the fuck you want. The project itself
Correct.
has a lane. Now, if your project's lane is fucking whatever the fuck you want, that's fine. You know? If
Right.
you want to make a project that the lane is that it doesn't have a lane, then that's fine. I mean,
More power to you, I guess.
more power to you. I kind of like the idea more. I mean, we battle about this every once in a while in conversations, drunk over cigarettes. But like, I like the idea of like, I'm an artist. My name is not attached to the project that I make. I like to make a project. That's what I like to do. And part of that is the name of the project and the visuals of the project and
The whole aesthetic, all
like
that.
everything
Right.
is like a package. I like that.
Right,
I
what
like
she brought
the
up earlier,
giant thing.
The package of it is nice.
Yes, I do
We all
like
love a giant
nice
package.
I mean,
giant, especially when I'm 69ing.
Yeah, come on.
who doesn't want a big package?
No, but I know what you mean. Where it's just like it even gets to a point where it's just like, dude, you make anything, but it's just if I make like drum and bass or I make future bass, that's probably a bad example, but like my dubstep where it's just, dude, it's Northeast Heights operating within these infrastructures.
You're
Correct, yeah.
accessing the Northeast Heights.
It's my exploration
Northeast
of it.
Heights of part of your brain
Yeah.
to make the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
And
just
that's
like,
why you like to have like a flow that's your flow.
that's my
and
flow.
how you
exactly.
do things.
It's gonna-
because you know.
And I think it's kind of what you guys like about like Bitwig and everything, where
Yeah.
it's enabled you to have like your like very specific like flows and everything. And it's
Yeah,
just,
big time. Yeah. Hey, nobody else is on that shit. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Dang! There's a reason we're wearing pink glasses.
That's goddamn right. We're different. Built
Gay.
differently. And
Shout out to myself for gifting a sub to Full Metal.
Shout out to myself, bro.
I mean, that he was in my top. I was like, I hope this goes
yeah, it should go to him.
to Full Metal or one of our new homies. Also, big
Right.
shouts to Collective Unconscious for the follow. Inspector Beck. Thank you
you.
for the follow. And Fuck House.
Oh, fuck house.
For the
Shout
follow.
out fuck house.
Wait, fuck house.
fuck
Fuck
house.
house,
These
dude.
dudes are sick. Yeah, Inspector Beck is part of that crew. These dudes are fun.
Do they make house music?
No,
Okay,
they make
good.
like bass music. Yeah.
Good. I mean, fuck their bass music, but
Let's talk about collabs.
we don't really make house.
Yeah, we got another 15.
I mean, we could go as long as we want, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's
Episode 69.
Yeah.
Episode
Fuck it,
69.
it's
That's
going
kind of
down.
what my brain was doing too.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we go 69 minutes.
Oh shit.
Holy shit.
To 869.
Get really fucking meta with it.
How do you
Dude.
tell someone the collab ain't working?
Oh,
This is good.
you have to be
Let's
a
dive
ruthless
right
dick.
back in.
Oh, dude, you just
Tell
gotta,
them they're
you just gotta
garbage.
Tell them.
Tell them their music sucks.
Yep.
Rail into
No.
them.
Here's
Just
what
be
you do.
horrible.
Here's
to
what you
them.
do. Here's what you do.
Everything you make is trash.
So first, you're gonna take your shirt off
Ooh.
because
It's episode
Dave-
60.
David?
why? because why would you have a confrontation without making it ridiculous? And then you go, hey, you should just be sucking my dick because I just make all the music and you're fucking dog shit.
Jesus. Full Metal.
Jesus.
I think you're thinking about it a bit too much. I have no problem with the collab failing, and in fact,
Yeah.
many of them usually
of them.
do fail. I feel like the best thing you can do is just like tell people that it's just like, hey, this drop ain't working, and then also it's half your responsibility too. How bad do you want it to work? Because if you need it to work, then
Right.
get to work,
Get to
buddy.
work, get
Like
to
get
work.
to
Yeah,
work. That's
exactly.
like half.
100%.
That's half your deal as well.
100%.
And then like if we're just gonna give up on it, that's fine. Like the relationship's there, and like there's nothing wrong with that. Just being like, dude, I fucking lost it. I don't have it anymore. It's just like this drop needs some more bounce. But I feel like the worst thing you can do in a collab is stunt somebody else's creative energy. So if they're going and you lost yours, then like you should take the blame for that. But like stunting somebody else's like creative energy, especially if they're like giving to the collaboration, all you should do at that point is foster them being the best that they can possibly do.
Right.
Dude, fucking so well said.
Wow.
Yeah. Right?
Wow.
What a fucking like
Look at this legend over here.
nice, progressive, like beautiful, lovely way of handling it.
Yeah, dude, collabs have died
I
on
love
me,
that.
and like
I love
own
that.
it. Like own it. If it dies on you, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Actually, the
it's
best
like
thing you
every
can do-
collab that you give me, I fucking die.
Yeah,
it dies
dude.
on me every single time.
Or turn it into a sample pack that you guys can have. Like take all the samples from it, and then it's just like at least you have a deliverable or like something where it
Oh,
wasn't
look
in
at
vain.
you adding value, just in left field.
Yeah, I don't care enough. If a collab dies, I'm just like, you want to do a different one?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
don't.
Like,
I don't know if I've been in a situation where I'm doing a collab where I give a fuck if it doesn't like if it doesn't work. I'm like,
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
all right, it didn't work. whatever.
We'll try again later.
Maybe we'll try again later.
Yeah. Whatever.
Probably not.
But maybe later, like specifically, like 2 years down the road.
Unless
it's
you're
like,
my homie.
well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then later.
But like
that.
later, if they're still grinding and you're still grinding, then it's like, all right, let's try this again.
You got to respect a grind.
Yeah.
You know, like Victor and I have made
Plenty of songs.
fuck yeah, so many songs, and nobody knows about those songs. But that's
I don't
fine.
even know if I
Dude,
know.
some
I've
of
probably heard
Distant.
one.
Dude, Distant. Or it's not Distant. The rap one.
Did you
When I
rap on
want
a
to get
song?
lifted.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking track.
Yeah.
Man.
Let's
go.
That's a good track.
No, I sang.
Okay.
Poon
I was
rap.
like rap, Dave.
Poon rap.
Yeah,
I wasn't
Full
rapping.
Metal though. Like you just gotta be open and honest with them. You know, obviously we were joking about like railing into them. You don't want to do that. You don't want to just be a dick.
No, you just want to give it to him hard.
And dude,
Just give them that
So
huge
69.
package.
he just asked if they want to put it out. It's like, it's just I need to know put it out like where? Are we just putting it out on SoundCloud? Like
If it's just SoundCloud.
put it if you don't care, put it out under your name. You know, it's just like,
And-
dude, my
yeah,
like,
yeah. Just don't put my name on it. If you like it so much,
Exactly,
but I'm not
exactly.
happy with it. I don't want my name attached to this.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
I
think
did
that-
this to Poon the other day. By the way, he was
Nice.
like, this tune I want to whatever, and I was like, go for it.
Just leave
Put
me out
it
of
out. Don't put fucking calmer than you are on that. I don't want that to be showing up in my calmer than
Right.
you are thing. But
Which-
like, I like it
And-
also,
and-
and go ahead and put it out.
If you're a true and honest person, you shouldn't care too much about that. Like I could see you being like, oh,
He didn't
you
care.
don't want to be on it. Like that's
He-
kind of a bummer. But
he
also like,
probably was hurt, but then he was like laughing.
right.
Also, at
Right.
the same time, he was like, you don't even like it that much.
Yeah.
And I'm
But
like,
it's-
no, it's not that.
It's just the grind. You're like, I don't want that attached to this project. Like this
Yeah.
project has a clear vision, trying to do a thing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Which is one of the
I don't
lovely
hate you.
things of my project not being me. It's
Correct.
the project.
Right. You have to
It
follow
gets
the rules.
what it gets.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with me liking you. The project doesn't like it.
Yeah.
My project thinks you suck. So,
Full Metal. It's
I mean, it
actually-
does. It's some fucking dick balls project. Fucking just trying to do the thing that it wants to do.
It seems like Full Metal's homie is. It seems like homie was like happy to make a song with you and like fuck yeah. Hopefully leveled up from like doing that with you and
Yeah.
sick. You helped a homie out. If he wants to release it, it means he's excited about something that you created with him and that's rad because
That is rad.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to make.
Make
Dude,
it
it takes
anything.
a long time to make anything anybody would be hyped on. So like,
Yeah.
I think you just gotta like help people the fuck out, you know. And there's
Right.
nothing wrong with like you thinking it's whack because it's at a different place that you're at in life. Like, what's important about music is being creative and making that shit. Like, who really we want it to be good, and like you'll be your own judge of that. Not necessarily, but you know what I mean. Like, you can't, like, you choose that. Like, dude, just make that shit. Like, even if it's a shitty collab, who gives a fuck? You made a song and that's dope.
Right. Expanding on that and kind of like putting a conclusion on this. If it's good to respect the person that's going to go out of their way to try and collab, because it shows you a little bit that they're willing to like break out of their comfort zone and try and find other people and try and push
They're
forward.
trying.
So if it is whack and it is a little like not where you're at, or you don't think it's good, but they still want to put it out, it's good to still encourage it regardless. Like, yeah, just don't put my name on it. It's not for this project, or don't put my project's name on it. You could say to kind of make it less personal.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Or just don't put it out.
Yes, you could try and convince them to be like, let's just keep grinding.
Yeah.
But
Finish your thought.
try and keep that relationship as much as you can. 'Cause
Yeah.
any person that's willing to collab is worth keeping around
Yeah.
as long as they keep grinding.
Yeah.
People get fucking better, bro. People get better.
Exactly.
Making
Get
music.
Exactly.
Cat might be
Fuck
getting
yeah.
it soon enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone's passing you up in a moment.
Yeah.
So don't-
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, wait,
Right.
what the fuck is this guy doing
Right.
now?
Don't burn the bridge.
I'm glad I wasn't an asshole.
Just like Jesus Christ, I wish I worked on that collab a bit more.
Yeah, right.
No,
I
you
keep
can't
coming back
think
to
about
this
that,
thing like the past like month where it's like at the end of the day, like, does it really fucking matter if it goes out or not?
Does it?
but- I mean, no,
Like-
not really.
No.
Because let's say it's like the biggest failure ever. Like, so what? No one, me and Dave were talking about this. I watched like an Ed Sheeran interview, and he was saying like all his tracks that like failed or whatever and didn't pop off and hit the mainstream, like no one gives a shit. No one talks about those because they forget. You know, it's in the back. But then you get that one cool song and everyone's talking about that thing. Like, does it really matter? We're also on like a floating rock hurling through space.
Well,
does it really matter
easy.
if you put out this one track
Easy.
that fucking is
We could
meh?
go down a
This
rabbit
is-
hole with that one.
I know, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, doesn't matter?
I have some thoughts on that where like I don't necessarily think it matters, but one of the reasons I had to change to Northeast Heights, which was like, it wasn't have to change. There was definitely shit that existed as Mimi XX that like it was no longer, it was so relevant. It was still so inspired, and I don't hate any of that music.
Right.
But it's just like it wasn't what I needed to present anymore, like artistically.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. I don't care that any of that music's out there, but it needed to be separated from
The current.
Northeast Heights.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Agreed.
For me, the project has an identity, and if the thing doesn't meet the identity, then I don't want to put it out under that name.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's pretty
So-
simple.
Yeah. For me, it's more like, who cares if the song never comes out and nobody hears it? I'm going to make another song.
Yeah.
I don't need to fucking,
Yeah.
like, I know this song's good. Also, when I DJ, I'll play the shit out of that song if I want to.
Yeah.
Right.
There
If
you
it's
go.
actually a song that bangs,
Right.
you throw it down and everybody's like, what the fuck is this song?
the majority of the songs I make these days,
And-
bro, I'll
Yeah.
just make it so I can play it at a club someday.
The thing you got to
Right.
Every song we make right now.
The thing you got to remember as a producer is you don't have the luxury of being a guitar player and just being able to practice things that just go into the air and disappear. Like the way you practice things is you have to do the full thing. You have to go all the way to the end till you have a song, and you have to commit that song to death because it's literally just practice. And you have to do that
Yeah.
thousands of times until you get one that you're like, actually, this one might not, I might not genocide any more tracks from this point. I might be able to actually keep some tracks because we don't have any other way to practice. Like that is practicing. You have to practice making a track to make tracks.
Yeah. The lucky thing is, you don't need somebody to make the track for you.
No. Which is nice.
If you're the guitar player.
If you're the guitar player, yeah, you're practicing other
you know?
people's
You're
content.
practicing pedals.
Right.
You know? You're practicing pedals.
Right.
That's all you're doing. Learn a DAW, bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Learn how to write a song. Produce that song.
Yeah.
Produce it.
Master that
Learn
song.
about EQs. Learn a little bit about room acoustics.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Acoustics.
Dude, room acoustics. I was talking to Ben yesterday. Dude, room acoustics are important, but if I had to go back, I'm glad I've had a treated room and like a room that sounds good, and
Yeah.
it was incredibly beneficial. But now that I've done it, I could go back. I don't need a room that sounds good. I love a room that sounds good, but I can understand
that thought.
it
I
was
probably
impor-
could too. I probably could. I don't want to,
You're
but I could.
you're right. I'm
Yeah.
not denying that.
Yeah,
Right.
do you want a shitty sounding room?
No, but I could.
It depends on where I lived. Like if my house was like justified and like my house was just dope and like I just needed to make music in like a corner and it sounded shitty, I could. That's like
You
more
could
with
make
the
it
conversation.
good though.
Yeah.
Exactly. And dude, a lot of that.
So
came
then
from
you don't
having
need to not have a good treated room. You can make it treated good. You can do a little thing, make your
Yes.
corner good.
But if you were like forced into a fucking house of like 8 people that's tiny and you only had a little corner, you could make it work.
Your
I'm just saying,
bedroom.
it helps
Yeah.
so much. Everybody should have a
Oh,
good
yeah,
treated
yeah,
room
yeah.
at a certain point, just so
Right.
you know. But I can do without it
Right.
if I needed to.
Yeah, you can, but not optimal.
No,
Not optimal. You're
What-
not going to make as good of clear shit that way.
I agree.
It'll
See, I
still
think you kind of
sound
make
cool.
the right decision.
It'll sound cool.
You'll
I
miss
understand
some
what
things.
you're
I
saying.
bet you'll miss some
You're
things.
gonna miss things for
Yeah,
sure.
You're gonna miss things.
For sure.
You definitely
There's
have to
gonna be
reference out
giant
multiple systems.
dips
Yes.
in shit, and like
You're still gonna need to reference.
Yeah.
and all
You just
that.
need to reference more.
yeah, totally. What a brain to have to deal with.
But the next level above that, which I really want to try, is like producing in an open field.
I
Like,
do
there's
wanna try that,
nothing.
too.
There's no walls. There's no trees. Like you're just in an open field for like 500 meters.
So yeah, you just blast it.
Yeah. So you're just there's no reflections at all, besides the grass Like, what is it like?
Is that what we do?
That sounds awesome.
We have a
just buy land to go produce on.
or even just rent like
Right.
a section of a corn maze for a couple months or something.
Just to mix down an album.
yeah.
I want to
Mix
record.
it in the corn maze.
I want to record like
Sick.
bass noises into like
Now we're
something
talking.
similar to that because that's what they did for like the Godzilla movies. In order to get like the big sounds of Godzilla, they would make a giant PA system. So imagine like a speaker system of like a main stage, and they would place it somewhere in like a fake city, and then in Universal Studios, which is a fake city in the back lot,
Right.
they would place like 30 different microphones around like the whole
Right,
area.
right.
They'd blast
Right.
just a single noise out of this or like the growl noise.
Right, so they
and
get
then they'd
the-
record it there to give it the depth. And I
Yeah.
always thought
Yeah.
I would love to do that with bass noise.
Oh, we're gonna make a sound pack like this one day.
Yeah, well, basically
the
we
canyon bass.
Right, we want to make
canyon
Sends.
drums.
Dude, that's a good
something.
name for it too, man.
the thing
Canyon
is
bass.
it's basically
Dude, just all the best wobble. I'm so
No,
sorry.
you're
That's
fine.
a good idea.
Fine. You're basically taking the impulse responses of everything. So you just like record
It would be
big
nice
sounds.
to do all the impulse responses.
Right, you just
in like massive areas.
yeah, that's what you're kind of doing anyways out of happenstance. You're playing a
Right.
bunch of sounds
Right.
in a canyon and you're recording them. That's an impulse response. Like you just have it that you could throw into convolution, and next thing you know, everything's just in a canyon.
Yeah.
Which is sick.
You're right. You could do that, but like it'd be cool to resample and stack. I'm
Well,
not
sure,
talking
of
about
course,
just
of
the
course.
whole city.
Yeah,
laugh
like-
my ass off.
I know, right? No, it's
No, they
different. We're talking
had
about
it.
getting the
They had
natural.
They had the city
yeah,
there already.
it's a bunch of
Universal
sets.
Studios.
Yeah,
I
it's
do,
there.
I do
Yeah.
disagree
It's like
with
doing
that.
the
Like,
recording at Disneyland, you know?
I do disagree with that. Like, dude, I love a good audio recording. Like
Yeah.
more so
Yeah.
than anything you can like make believe and like with a good convolution responser. And dude, convolution's sick. You can do really cool
Yeah.
stuff with convolution.
Right, but it's nothing like a send
I'm a-
down a canyon.
Yeah.
Dude, I just love
Yeah, when you're in the mountains, that
Yeah.
sounds so different
Or-
than just turning the decay up.
Yeah,
but I
bro,
feel you,
yeah.
Full Metal. I feel
like
you. We
I
feel
just,
you.
to me it's like it's almost more special to be like in a place in time getting that noise than like recreating it. You know, where it's exactly what you're saying, where it's just like we went camping and we were at like a gorge and we set up a PA system just out the generator of the truck, and that's where we DJ'd like for the weekend. And like, dude, it was just the space was it. Like it was the space. You can make an impulse response and you can like mimic it, but like that was the vibe. Like you're just that was the vibe, and like that was fucking cool. And like
Yeah.
I love
Right.
that about audio recordings. I love how they can't be recreated, and I love when people care a lot about an audio recording. It's like why I love sampling like old like perk rhythms and shit, like specifically. Like I don't need to sample a bunch, but like I love sampling like a well recorded like amen break. That's like I love that shit. Like,
Dude,
I
it's
love
so
like
good,
a good
right?
fucking recording.
Yeah, speaking of which, we were talking about
Those
doing
dates
another
are
camping
over.
trip. Maybe we get like a little test sample pack time where you bring up the PA system and we just fucking send random sounds into the
Blast some
mountains.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Dude, just like
Sounds
you're
sick.
walking.
Yeah.
Just
We could
stack
do
them
it.
on top,
We could
yep.
do it.
Right? Yeah, we should plan that out for like
Do
next
that
month or something.
October.
October, yeah.
October.
What is this? What are we pulling up? What'd you send us, Mr. Metal?
This is
Full Metal
the
sends the tank to us, which
South Colorado?
This is one of those water tanks. I know what he's talking about.
water tank.
It is.
Is it?
If I'm thinking correctly, it's like an old abandoned water tank, and it has like a good natural like reverb tail.
Oh,
Where you can go.
what?
They have different ones. This is different than the one I've seen before, but like you can go into these like empty tanks, and then like you can just like play music in it, and it has like a natural reverb of the space.
What? That's so cool.
So it's just a really nicely reverbed space that they're doing shows in.
There was a metal tank I
That's
saw where the
brilliant,
natural
right?
reverb.
I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
Dude, there was one I saw.
great.
That's it. Yeah, that is
it
it.
is a tank.
Yeah, but that I know exactly what you're talking about. Dude, I think the natural reverb tail in that is something like 20 or 30 seconds.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I would love to fuck around. in there.
Yeah.
she low key looks like a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Not a-
literally
Dude,
got
that's
that
insane.
vibrating underwear on right now, and they're hitting
Right.
it hard. Back in the day in a band, we went and recorded a video in a racquetball court, And a racquetball court is massively fucking echoey, and we just like we just multi-tracked it.
Oh.
But we recorded a video as if we didn't multi-track it, you know? It was so fucking echoey. I can only imagine what it's like playing in there.
Right.
Dude,
I think it's
right.
more
But
like
like that is like
tones,
so instrument.
I don't think you go and like put a band in there. I think it's like tones and like.
No, you go in
sound.
there
I
with
think
a-
you
It's
do
like-
put a band in there, but like a band that knows what they're doing. A band that's like
somebody
playing
could tighten
some
that much like
the
background noise.
specific kind of vibe that would work in a really really echoey. Like you could put Fleet Foxes in there, and then they're gonna do great because they just sound like they're drenched in reverb anyway.
I bet it'd be a good room to record vocals in.
Oh yeah, it would sound nuts. Right?
I would just go in there with a wooden chair, scrape it across the floor. Just this is the best send ever.
I'm down with that.
Just
We
get a
should-
bunch of crazy
I bet
Foley
we could
shit.
do that.
Yeah, they have free
Yeah.
dates. Although
Yeah.
they're past, but
light
they
up
have
some
free dates.
fireworks in there or something. Little
We
guys.
just hit someone up. Someone will let us in.
I guarantee that you could. I think it's
Right.
like not.
Yeah.
Look,
We'll
It's
pass
probably
those
pretty
days,
easy to
but-
get in there
but yeah, I think
just
in
for a
that,
moment.
dude, just hearing natural reverb chat, I guaranteed like everybody. I don't know how that'd be an interesting stat. I wish I could like stat my life where it's just like, what's the fucking longest reverb tail like you've ever heard? Like, like naturally.
If you could like pull up your life like stats chart kind of thing,
It's
yeah,
like,
that would be
you ever done
sick.
Google Maps where it just like shows you everywhere you've been the last decade and it's just creepy?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like-
weird. I've never done that.
Wait, that's
I don't
actually
even
a
want to
thing?
know.
It just does a line of like everywhere you've been and it'll show you like a
Oh.
map and it's just like, okay.
Wow. I have
Goddamn.
probably a pretty small circle. I don't go many places.
All right. Well,
just like
collabs we can come back to on a further podcast because
Yeah.
we didn't really go that deep with it.
Yeah, we
I
got a
gotta
little
piss my fucking pants though right now. So
I thought we were relatively deep.
We should end
We
it.
went pretty deep with Full
we
Metal.
went deep on in a moment. In a specific direction, we went pretty deep on it.
It's a great one to talk about though more.
Folks, thanks for hanging out this week for episode 69. What a long, hard episode.
Oh,
It was hard and
Moist.
and then
moist.
like while it was hard, it was still work. You know,
That's soft.
it felt great and it took some work at the same time.
That's true. That's
Yep,
true.
yep.
And you had to kind of
David
avoid the
was-
butthole the whole time.
Drunk.
Well, I mean,
Faded.
Only,
faded.
only
Faded.
get more faded once this ends.
when you're dodging, you know, the bum, you know, you're trying to like,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
get a
Dude,
little squabbly.
thank you guys for having me. I
Yeah,
fuck
thanks
with
for
y'all,
hanging
dude.
out.
It's been so cool to see everybody's musical journey. Let's get on some real talk. Like, which
Fuck
is like,
yeah.
we've been making music together
Hell yeah.
and like seeing everybody making music since we all sucked. We all were horrible and we're still not great.
I disagree.
Speak
but-
for
I
Dave.
disagree with that last part.
But it's just like, dude, the progress is being made. It's sick to see the passion. I appreciate that on like an important episode, as important as 69 is, which is fucking
The most important.
You-
What are
right.
you? It will never happen again.
You never happen again.
But I appreciate you all. You guys are
Yeah,
on
man.
the fucking journey. You guys have been with me on my journey, and I fuck with you. Thank
Fuck
you for
yeah.
having
Fuck
me.
yeah,
Fuck
dude.
yeah,
You're-
we fuck
you're the
with
man.
you too,
Yeah.
Victor. Oh,
You're
obviously,
such a homie. You always come
obviously.
with such positivity and love and excitement.
Since that first
You're
time where
slaying
we got fucking drunk as fuck. It's been good ever since.
Dude,
Yeah.
this shit matters,
You know?
and I'm glad that you all still think it matters.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
just
Fuck
for
yeah,
real.
baby.
Like it fucking matters.
Thanks for being here, buddy.
Always400.com, bitches.
Thanks, folks. We'll see you next week. Leave a follow, sub, like.
Check out our TikTok. We do fun TikTok
Go
clips.
69 each other.